Do we reset our strain?
Because one of you will end up with a strain of 2, but we don't know yet.
Strain is gone.
I hope it's me.
All right. We're live. So before we start getting into this, we're going to do the one thing that I always forget to do, and then we'll do the recap. Everyone roll those force dice.
Okay.
I'm hoping for many black dice. Ooh, this is good. 4.
No. All right.
Wow.
Okay. I'm going to pull it back. I did not pull it back.
Yeah, you did look over my alternate character, right?
Did everyone roll?
Yep.
Yeah, looks like.
Oh, so that's a
Yeah, 6 there.
2, 3.
Because I'm a merciful GM, I have control. You have 1. There you go.
There we go.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
For
That's our
those who
one
can't see,
thermal
that can't
grenade.
see the stream, we rolled all black force dice.
Everyone.
This is gonna be a fun night for me. All right. So, all right.
I'm not even force sensitive.
So Altor, you finished the last turn.
I believe I did. Yes.
Who's going to start out the next turn?
I think, in fairness, is that remaining NPC actually
Yes.
alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Just had to check.
Yep. Because whoever goes first has to do the recap of the last session.
I'm getting all my ducks in a row.
Fingers on my nose.
All right, the robot goes first.
God damn it.
Okay.
No, it doesn't work that way. But I am gonna nominate Ginkgo. I'm gonna have you recap the last session.
All right. Okay. So last session, our brave 4 found we split into 2 groups and sent 2 to a nightclub, a hacker nightclub, where they recruited our slicer for the job, Arden, played by Urban. The other half of the group, we sabotaged an airspeeder belonging to, oh hell, Razor and the droid. Was Razor the droid?
Razor is another racer.
Oh, okay. Razor's the dude, and droid is just the droid. Cool. So Razor and the droid, we sabotaged their ship, and then we went to the Stormhawks bay, where we found some security droids.
I think they found us.
Yeah.
Well,
It was one of those
Semantics.
whole like you broke your way in and surprise motherfucker type of situation.
semantics.
Just a little. I
Um,
was so proud that things went well for exactly 2 minutes.
They did.
Yeah.
2 minutes. That's about right.
It was the impressive next 2 hours that went so bad.
Yeah.
All right. So
So combat ensued. Ren seems to be hurt.
Yeah, I probably have a sizable hole scorched through my leg.
And Altor got out.
yes. So
He
to
was-
fill in the gaps a little bit, you entered this epic battle with 2 security droids after failing to try and convince them that you're there for non-nefarious purposes. In the course of combat, Ren manages to tear an arm off of one of the droids and beat it to death with its own limb. Your new hacker friend, Arden, manages to land a lucky shot on the other droid's blaster, causing its built-in blasters to jam. And just when you think things are starting to calm down, Altor's checking out an escape route just to find that the Bespin Wingguard have arrived on scene. So that's where we're going to be starting this week off, is everyone's kind of standing around, getting ready to potentially finish off this last remaining droid, when all of a sudden you see these bright lights just break in through the smoke of the fire suppression system that has been going off in this garage, kind of just scattering the light pattern all throughout the room, making this kind of eerie effect. And you hear Altor kind of calming into the group. What do you comment to the group, Altor?
The police are here.
Oh, I didn't recognize that. Thank you for the warning. Where are, what side are they weakest at right now?
Altor does actually take a moment to con his vantage here. How many entrances to this building are there here on this facing street that he's on?
Just
Consider windows too.
there's the entrance that you're at, and each bay has a like a loading garage door where the cars can get in and out from.
Mm-hmm. And how are the Wingguard distributed around the building, as far as Altor can tell from where he is?
Right now, what you can tell is there's 2 or 3 sets of Wingguard vehicles. So air, what are they called? Air. I should know. Cloud cars. Yes. Jesus. Amateur hour on my part. So you have cloud cars spread out in front of the garage doors. There's 2 on each end, so we'll say the east and the west side of the garage, with 1 car in the center that is just kind of came to a sliding stop, and this large grizzled gentleman gets out of the vehicle and kind of just starts to survey the situation and starts barking commands to the other officers at their cloud cars.
I described the position of the cloud cars to Delta QV as best I can. I think Delta's actually the only one with comms. So it's just you and me.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
What side? What side's the weakest at the moment?
I think probably their best bet is to come out the way I came out.
So at this point, you still have combat engaged, so that'll be enough conversation unless it's through initiative.
Can I have an observational question?
Sure.
We're in a hangar, so there is a ship in this hangar. Is that correct?
Yep, there's actually a souped up cloud car.
Okay. So which way is it aiming?
The front of the car is actually facing the back of the shop, like someone just drove it forward into the shop. And it's currently up on jacks.
So I'm formulating a plan.
Something is coming together.
It's a stupid plan.
Cutscene to the inside of his
Stupid
thinking
plan.
brain.
So whose turn is it before we...
It's our first
Who-
player.
yeah,
Whoever
who-
gets to go.
Any PC that wants to go.
Okay, so all of us are in here except my four-armed buddy.
Altor is out of the building. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you specified. I didn't know if that was some new innuendo.
I would like to attempt to make a vigilance check, if I may,
To
to determine if I can Rube Goldberg this ship to where it will basically crash into these guys as they enter, allowing us to exit the other direction.
Vigilance, no. Mechanics, yes.
When I say vigilance, just I've been looking up my skills, what they do.
If you
Um,
if you can try to pitch me how vigilance would fit here, and I might allow it.
In combat situations outside those times when a character has patiently prepared to begin for the engagement, vigilance is used to calculate initiative. I know it's a little loose.
There's nothing patiently about what is going on right now.
But that's what I mean, preparing outside of a patient situation.
Yeah, that one's a bit of a stretch.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'd allow mechanics.
Okay. Well, can I take a free action to pitch my idea to the more mechanically adept among us?
Yes, as long as it doesn't turn into a conversation.
No. Can we aim the ship at the guard and fire the engines full force at them? Can we crash that into them and create enough of diversion to escape?
Why don't we just knock it off the jacks and lock the door?
It has
with
now
it?
turned into a conversation. What's your next action, Church?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I can't use the vigilance, but I know I can use my resilience to get up on my leg and just knuckle down the pain and say, "You guys make that happen. I'll hold the line. Give me a gun."
I'm not even gonna make you roll for that.
Yeah, somebody give me a gun. The bots got guns, don't they?
They're built in. You can. I'd say you could use the arm, but you've just torn the arm off from its power supply.
I will give you a blaster pistol,
All
but
right.
I think IG is going to start leaving the building.
All right.
Okay, so that would be PC slot 1 then, correct?
Yes, that is PC slot 1.
Okay,
Okay.
so then IG would go first. So you can toss the gun and run, I'd say.
Okay.
All right. How do I give you a gun?
Oh, we'll just say you gave me one.
Yeah,
That's fine.
That's all like a narrative based thing.
If I die and it's lost forever, then just delete it.
Yeah, like
I intend to, but
yeah.
if you need it here, it's in Discord.
Yeah, no, it's good. As long as you're not like, I'm gonna throw the gun, bank it off the sign of the car, and make sure that Ren can catch it. That would require a roll.
No, I'll just kind of
Trick
like
toss.
throw it to
So
Ren, and then IG is gonna start making his way out the building.
okay.
I'm okay with that. Go, go, go.
So So that was turn 1. Before IG can go, because that kind of lets some cross talk go on there. The NPC gets to go before you get to leave IG.
This is the other
Okay.
bot in the room.
Yep. And if I recall, Delta, you were the closest one to this one, right?
Correct.
So this one, noticing, like, it looks down at its fist, sees the sparks coming out of its blaster, it shakes its hand a couple of times, turns, looks at you, and just takes a swing right at you.
Okay. Taking a swing.
So it's going to be... I'm just going to do a brawn.
You're gonna have to take a 2 penalty die. What is it? I
Two
have 2
setback.
defense against this. Yeah. No, I have 2 defense.
Mm-hmm. That'll be a 2 setback dice.
Okay. And I'm trying to remember if I was using my offensive stance. Is it okay to say yes? Because I do not remember yes or no.
I'm okay with that.
You always said you were using defensive stance. Every time you did it, I
Okay.
was listening because I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. That's 3 penalty dice then.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a let's see, blunt weapon. 1. All right. Let's see here. I'd be surprised. Oh wow. So it's 2. So that would be What's your soak?
5.
So this droid just kind of half-heartedly just tries to like backhand you, and its hand just kind of slams against your chest, and you just look down at it and don't even budge.
Slams against the metal, just ting.
Yeah. Who's the next PC that is gonna go?
Do you mind if I go?
Nope, go for it.
Okay. Odin, can you wipe the droid's memory remotely? I mean, not Arden. What did she say? She'd point to you. Can you wipe the droid's memory remotely?
I'll get into it. I'll try. I'll do it as fast as I can.
Okay. I'm going to quickly ask Altor, what's the best exit? I can use Windows.
I would like to roll for this. Altor is very much a mechanical engineer and a building structures guy.
You'll need to wait your turn to do any type of
To do any rolling,
Yeah.
of course. He was preparing to answer you. He says, I will survey.
He can definitely use Linux, though.
Is there a
definitely.
chance that I can use vigilance real quick to try to get a maneuver to try to get a bead on, okay, where does it sound like all the people are coming from in this moment?
Vigilance, no. Cool, yes.
And I have described to you where they had parked, so you do know.
Okay.
Because honestly, in this situation, the cloud guard really have the wing guard really have the vigilance on your party because they've arrived, kind of got the drop on you, and they're setting up the perimeter.
Isn't it the opposite? Cool is if everything's controlled. Vigilance is more it's wild and in the moment, right?
Is it Church? You read it off, didn't you? That it's planning. Or did I
Vigilance in
understand it wrong?
particular. Well, it has a couple uses. That's not the only one.
I think he
Church
said
does.
preparation when you don't have time to plan.
Oh,
Yeah, being-
okay. I misheard that. Then yes, vigilance for you can do it, not Church.
It's how fastidious you are about preparing for the unexpected.
Got it. That makes much more sense, and yes, it would fit.
Okay. Vigilance. 4 successes and 1 advantage.
4 successes.
Was there any difficulty to that?
There should have been.
That's an important part of the rolling process.
Difficulties. How many difficulties, GM?
Roll 2 purple. I'm not going to make you re-roll, but we'll do the math here. So 2 failures wipe out 2
And
of the
1 threat.
successes. So you'll end up having 2 successes, 1 threat.
Oof, that was complicated.
Right?
Math are hard.
No blank dice.
This isn't math. This is algebra.
All right. So how do you want to do this? How do you want it to succeed?
I'd like to say that there's a window on one side that they probably haven't covered. They haven't had a good chance to cover yet.
Okay.
Given that it doesn't have a proper exit there. But the threat is that there isn't a door, so anybody not able to get through the window there is going to have trouble. Is that reasonable? Like,
Yes.
the easy exit is only accessible by window. The easiest.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. In that case, I am going to use my action to fire my. I'm going to run closer to it. I'm going to adjust my arm, and I'm going to fire off my Rider Ascension pistol.
Okay.
First thing I do, I'm going to take another stress in order to take. There's like a click as several things fall to the ground. There's a thunk, 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 thunk as they hit the ground, like these metal plates on my armor. I gather them up, throw them into my backpack, and then I fire my Rider Ascension pistol, like a grappling hook, essentially.
Okay.
And that is average range light difficulty check to fire grappling hook up to medium range. Action to reel in cord.
Okay. So you shoot it out, it grabs.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to need my light gun.
Now, I think the shooting is an action as well. I think it's a second action
Yes.
you have to use to actually engage the reel in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 2 successes. This time I put the dice in, difficulty dice in.
Well, this one should have been 4. No, it's all right. 2 successes is good. All right, yeah, you wheel yourself to the window, right? Is what you're shooting yourself towards?
Yeah, I shoot towards the window and I look towards Arden. When you're ready, come. I can take you out. I look towards IG. Do you think you'll be able to make it out safely on your own?
Yeah, we're just gonna walk front door, and if anybody assails us, we're gonna go for deception.
So I'm going to say, since there was a reply in this case and IG wanted to leave, the next turn is IG's.
Yeah,
Are you guys okay with that?
sure.
I thought IG already went.
No, IG wanted to go during
okay.
Church's
Alright.
turn, and I pumped the brakes on it.
Okay.
So at that, IG is gonna kind of leave the way he came in.
Kind of going towards Altor.
Yeah, kind of going towards Altor. And then we've kind of want to look like we belong here because we do. We're going to go for deception if anybody kind of questions us
Okay.
on our way out.
So the distance is just enough for you to get out of the garage and to the door that Altor is standing at. And it's a little bit of a sprint that you had to make to get there.
Cool. So I rendezvous with Altor.
Yes.
Cool.
And you see the same situation. There's 3 cloud cars at the front entrance of this garage. Men are kind of each car has one officer who's kind of taken firing positions behind the vehicle at this point.
Are we on what side of them? What side of them are they on? They're still surrounded us, right?
Their cars are on the east, west, and then there appears to be a head guard or like a lieutenant's vehicle in the center who's kind of directing the troops.
And we're
We,
still in
however,
line
are
of
not
fire from-
surrounded right here.
Right.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Then cool.
They've essentially pulled up to the garage side, I believe.
Yeah.
While we are on the street side.
All right.
Is that your turn?
Yep.
I'm just going out of character, going to say I'm very proud of you for not opening fire. All right, who's next? Is this going to be
I believe Arden should probably go.
Yeah. I'll probably finish the inside here, and then Altor probably finish it up. Okay, I will. I know that I'm going to try to get into security. I'm in the computer system now. Do I have to be physically attached, or am I through the data pad connected?
through the data pad? And say that you,
Okay.
when you were on it earlier, you established a remote connection.
All right, so I'm already in. I'm going to go ahead and use my computer skill to access back into the data sphere, whatever you got there, and try to remotely wipe the droids' memories. We've been going anything they've recorded or any data files that are in there.
Okay.
So whatever difficulty that would be.
That will be because of everything that's going on. The chaos will make it 2 purple.
Okay.
And
Is there
1
any-
setback.
Okay. Is there any advantage to already being in the system?
Yeah, I'll give you 1 bonus dice for that since you've
Okay.
already had a chance.
Okay, so we said computers, bonus, setback, and 2 purple.
1 success, 1 threat.
Success and 1 threat. All right. Thank you, bonus dice.
So
uh,
yeah,
Go ahead.
you're able to get in.
Okay.
And you can tell that there's actually a connection where these security guards are actually writing directly to like a mainframe for.
Okay. I will. Yeah. Then I'm attempting to clear that as I'm actually on my way out, headed towards the window where, uh, sorry, names. Delta was at, I think.
Delta holds her arm out and like wraps it around your waist.
Okay. And I'm still like plugging away on the data pad, making sure everything's going and trying to clear out any information that we were there.
Okay. I will say, as you're deleting these files, you do notice that these computer systems actually have a unique subroutine that you notice in there that you've only seen in government type computer systems in the past.
Which I'm assuming.
Now, you know what happens
Would
when
be-
you assume.
No.
When you say government, are you is this Bespin or Empire or?
We will find out.
No, you'll notice you've seen them when you've been kind of navigating around in the Bespin.
Am I able to get a snapshot of these? So we'll be able to access them later, or do I need to do something in order to do that?
To access the computer systems later?
Well, not access, but at least like have a record of what I saw so I can analyze it later.
So you want to take like a screenshot? Yeah. And
Sure, yeah. Screenshot. There we go.
yeah. Yeah, you
Star Wars has that, right?
as you're hacking it, you hit the print screen button on the
go.
tablet.
Because that was interesting.
What is it on an iPad? The power and home button or something like that.
It's an incidental move. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So as you take a screenshot of this code, you get grabbed by Delta and you zip up towards the window in the garage. Is that correct statement?
Sounds right to me.
I think I technically need to use the action.
I like how it sets the scene. I'll allow it.
Okay. Very well. We zip up to safety.
Maybe that's the strain part of it.
And you hear the dun 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 dun. dun.
Yeah, Delta will,
Swapping genres here.
It's all
Delta will
Lucas
look at-
family.
That's right.
Right, it's all good.
Delta will look and go, "Oh, hold tight, princess," and she will proceed to yank you up.
Awesome.
All right, that brings up Altor.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Delta, did you make Altor aware that you were just going to go ahead and enact a plan, or is he still expecting he has to find you a way out?
As she reaches the roofs, you hear a "Never mind, got it."
And IG can kind of tip him in on that Delta was going for the window when IG left the hangar.
He strokes his chin. This will do. Well, this side remains clear. Off we go. Let's see. How much movement can I get in on turn?
You
Fair
can.
amount.
Yeah, I mean, you can close the distance from like long to medium to short. So, like 30 feet.
Okay. Well, it is time to leave, you see. So that is probably what Altor is going to be doing.
Okay. And I imagine
As he goes,
Go ahead.
he checks in over the comm to Delta. IG is here. You have others?
Not Ren.
What? He's still stabbing droid?
Not sure. Yeah, she's looking back at him. She doesn't know what he's up to at the moment. Boy. I can try to get him if you want. It'll be difficult for me.
Maybe easier from prison.
Will do.
Do as you
Just
will.
unaware of Ren's current plan.
Altor is quite comfortable breaking into and out of jails across a very wide range of space. So that's going to be his assumed plan. I'll just use both of my maneuvers to make some distance from the building, pulling IG along.
Okay.
Yeah, IG will kind of go along with it. Just kind of a leisurely stroll out of the hangars.
Okay.
Chatting as we go.
As
The
you're-
first one went so well.
I'm going to say, as you make that leisurely stroll, you start to see flashlights shining around the corner from the garage side.
Well, we're getting away from the building. Are they... I assume they're the far side, basically, the garage side, making their way around to us.
Yep, it's essentially people on foot are kind of surveying the perimeter.
Fair enough. Well, I have on concealing robes, and I will make a reasonable roll to not be spotted by them.
Okay.
Just me and an IG unit on a date. Nothing to see here.
Skullduggery,
They-
I guess.
they haven't-
Skullduggery, find a shadow corner.
They haven't ran, like turned to the corner yet. Right now, you just see their lights, so they don't nothing to roll yet.
Okay.
Just pull IG into an alleyway and start making out so they think you're just hanging out there.
Perfect
So-
plan.
I don't think I heard anyone do anything, but did anyone try to Rube Goldberg the vehicle?
No, that leaves just me.
Okay. All right.
So I'm alone in there now, right?
Yeah, we're back. We've come full circle.
So
I was
like,
gonna say real quick. So if this was, so we're back to turn one. I was gonna say, am I still within distance to access the network? And I was gonna see if I could remotely get the car to start up and go forward from within the terminals.
Are you taking the first turn?
You
I tell
may.
you what. Let me take the first,
All right,
and
go ahead.
this plan will work. This is
Okay.
gonna work. First off, Ren's gonna he's sitting there with this pistol, not his forte, but he knows how to use one. Sitting there with his pistol, and he's like, "All right, guys, shit."
You just see us in the window.
You saw my foot leave the window there.
Do I smell? All right. So with that, Ren's gonna just pull it together, use his Nagai focus, his discipline, look around. He sees the ship. He just goes for the ship, jumps into the cockpit. He's like,
Do me a favor.
"What's that?"
Flip that force dice so that way the car's unlocked,
All right.
or that token. There you go. You run to the vehicle.
Keys in the ignition. You can break a window.
Yeah, but that would
So,
require
like-
a roll.
Make sure you check the visor. There might be keys.
So yeah, no, I get in. What are my chances of starting this thing myself?
We'll say
It's a
that.
race car. They don't have keys. They just have an ignition switch.
Yep.
Piloting skills.
Like I have no piloting skills, I'm pretty sure.
Everyone has
Yeah, there's
piloting
keys,
skills. It just doesn't mean you're good at it.
Okay. Well, I want to try and launch this damn thing. I'm taking off through the wall.
So,
I would advise against that. But
Have you met Red?
We'll give it a go.
Have you met Red?
All right.
All right. So what? Piloting?
And you're gonna try and make it through the wall, correct?
I'm getting out, man. This is my ride
Right,
now.
but you're not going. I just want to clarify. You're not going through the garage door. You're going through
Well,
the
well,
wall.
you said the garage was behind this thing,
Correct.
is faced away from.
Yeah, you could go in reverse if you wanted.
Oh, see, I didn't know these things even had reverse. I thought they were like thruster powered.
Yeah, I'll allow it to go in reverse.
They have to get this thing out of the
Right.
garage somehow.
Right.
Yeah, if I can aim at the garage doors, definitely. Like I thought I was just kind of stuck
Yeah,
that direction.
I mean, this isn't. They're not. Like if you watch the Star Wars pod races, these aren't the pod racers.
Okay.
These are more like when they're in. Was it Corellia? Corellia?
Corelli.
Where they're in the city and Anakin's jumping from like car to car.
Mm.
They're
Okay.
They're more of that style car.
What do you want me to add to this roll?
What are you going through? That's going to determine how difficult it's going to be.
So, can I use any of my skills to gain an advantage? Like my cool, for instance, because I am a very disciplined, psychopathic warrior. Nothing phases me to maintain my calm and actually assess the situation.
What are your skills and talents? Do you have anything that might fit?
My skills and talent?
Yeah. Do you have anything that might like play off like cool-headed or something of that nature?
Oh, discipline's one of my career skills.
Nah, but what are your talents? Skills will help you when you're like pulling
Toughened, feral strength, lethal blows, knockdown.
Murders, and murders.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
In this case, I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay.
If
it's worth a try, it was worth a try.
Yeah. Now.
So just piloting planetary then.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like if there were comrades still around and someone's like shot a gas tank to create a diversion, and we could say the diversion is what like gave you a bonus to breaking through the garage, like something of that nature. But
so Obi-Wan's not going to start talking me through this, is what you're saying?
No.
That's fair. That's fair. How many dice am I adding to this roll?
Are you going through garage door or wall? That's gonna.
Let's go through garage door.
That'll be 3 purple.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
If you chose wall, it would have been 4 purple.
I'm sorry if I die or kill one of you. Just in advance.
That's
Here we go.
Wow.
Oh,
what a roll.
So good.
Two green.
So
3 successes.
You put this thing in reverse. Yeah, you hit the accelerator. This thing just rams itself backwards, tearing itself off the jacks, clangs off the bottom of the ground, kind of spins sideways right through the garage door. It continues its like 360 spin. The front of the car just slams into the back of one of the police squad cars, bowling over the cop who was stationed behind that car. So he's laying prone. Your car is now facing forward.
Punch it.
But at this point, all the other cloud cars have now focused on you.
Come on, you got to give me at least a surprise. There's no way they saw that coming.
They'll have a setback on any type of rolls they have to make. But with the 3 threat, you now have the focus of all the cloud cars.
Does this thing have guns from where I'm at? Do I see like buttons that look like they fire something?
You know that most cloud vehicles. See, you guys didn't do a whole lot of research on the other teams and what type of systems they use. So
Red is ignorant about this type of thing.
That's what we were here for.
Right.
Research and sabotage.
So these cars typically have blasters on them.
Well, and I imagine I can't get shots off or try to punch it forward right now, but
not in this turn.
I'm like scrambling, like looking around because
you could take a strain for another maneuver.
That is,
could I?
Well, him punching it would really be more of an action. Because
Mm,
now
what about
we're
looking-
getting into the space rules, which I'm pulling up real quick while we
which
go
are
through this.
themselves a thing.
Right. Because like punching it is actually causes stress to the vehicle.
Well, I'm
rather
not
than-
looking to
I don't
save the vehicle.
Right, oh
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean that's what I mean. Like it's the cloud rules are its own beast that we haven't tackled yet.
Leave it to me.
I'll be honest. I was ill prepared for this course of action, but I love it.
This was clearly the only logical answer.
Obviously. Oh,
I was
God.
expecting you guys to blow something up, not get into the vehicle and use it. That's kind of been your forte.
Well, it just came to me as we started the session, honestly. There's a vehicle in here.
So that's going to bring up the droid's turn, who its directive was to protect the garage.
Well, we're out of the garage.
Exactly. So it kind of it looks at you and then looks up at the window that the group has just gone through, and it looks at its downed comrade, and it just goes back to kind of a corner to charge.
This is the disaster that's been left in the room.
Yes.
Wondering how did I succeed?
Clang, 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 clang.
Looks around. Well, I'm off the clock.
It's another day's work.
So, do you guys have or by you guys, I mean primarily church, do you have the cheat sheet up that I had shared with you guys? Because there's actually a cheat sheet rule set for.
I think I do have that.
Because
Hang
like
on.
maneuvers include accelerating, decelerate, fly, drive, evasive maneuver, stay on target. Punch it
Oh,
is
this is
actually a
really good.
maneuver. So if you take strain, you can actually punch
Sorry. I will do it. I will do it. Hang on, let me pull this thing up. I think I have it here. The sheet list for ground combat and ship combat. Here we go.
it. Yeah. So what punch it does is a maneuver that allows a ship or vehicle to immediately allows it to go immediately to its maximum speed rating from any other speed, mostly by throwing the throttles to maximum and overloading the ship's vehicle drives. While expeditious, it also puts undue strain on the ship or vehicle. When executing a starship maneuver, the vehicle suffers 1 point of system strain for every point of speed between the ship's current speed and maximum speed.
Let's do this. I am doing it. 1 point
No,
of
the more
strain.
strain, the better, right?
Right, that's
Okay.
a good thing.
That's
well,
not my
I
show.
mean, if you blow out this one, that is a good thing.
That's what we came here for. I'm on target.
Yeah.
I'm punching it. What do you want me to roll?
You don't have to roll anything. It's a maneuver. It's not an action.
It's just happening.
Yeah, you
That's
just
a freebie.
you see the throttle, you see what happened was like hell yeah, and then you just hit it. But you haven't taken any maneuver other than punching it, so you have not. There's no strain to take. If you try to turn the vehicle, it's going to take strain, and you might roll.
Okay. Well, I mean, I do want to. I want to get a little lift. Like, I don't want to just rocket straight into the building across the street, if I can help it.
Conveniently enough, where you pulled out kind of just leads an open way through kind of the outskirts of what I would call Bespin's version of the Vegas Strip.
In that case, I am like, oh. This is one for the books.
All right. So,
I'm good.
so what? Who goes next? What group's gonna go next? The window group or the side street group?
I guess.
Things are so peaceful for the side street group. It should probably be window group.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
Delta will. If is it okay if Delta goes?
And I'm okay with it.
Okay. Delta will rappel down and get Arden to safety, and will then retract the the grappling hook and just begin hoofing it.
Okay.
Seeing
So
that cloak.
as you're retracting the blade, you just hear the screech of metal as you hear just some object tear through what sounds like sheet metal. You hear a crash of what sounds like two vehicles. And then hearing Ren, what would you yell as you punch it?
That would just be a straight up woo.
And you hear that after the crash.
Delta like freezes for 1 second and just okay. Well, I think
I
we have a
glance over, looking at you too. Like, is that Ren?
I think we can just walk away at this point. Just I don't think their attention's on us anymore.
Yeah,
There's
let's go.
there's your distraction.
And we leave.
So, Church, keep in mind from when you punched it, you've gone from a speed of 1 to a speed of 4.
Okay.
Down the Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
The outskirts. It's like the old strip.
Okay.
You're like shooting past the Golden Nugget.
Just feel Ren's face.
Yeah. I'm right there with Delta. I'd be walking away as well, just trying to play it totally cool as possible.
Okay. What about our side street group? Anyone? You guys just continuing on to?
Should we, I don't know, should we call Delta for like a rendezvous point?
Probably, but also we heard the crunch, didn't we?
Yeah, you heard the same thing. Just the crunch, the crash, and the woo!
Has that changed anything in regards to the flashlight that we saw earlier?
Yeah, where the lights before were like heading towards the corner, you see them whip around towards the direction of the crash.
Delta. Delta, what is noise?
Noise was clearly Ren.
I expect this, but still deep in my heart, I hope.
There's a small possibility that the security robot was the one that did that.
And now hope is gone. It's fine. We meet Honest Crick.
Sounds good. Well, if Ren manages to make it out alive, I might be able to help him out with a cybernetic.
Hold off on that a little, probably.
Okay.
That sounded very fast. You may not know, since you are new. Ren is not pilot.
Oh. Oh. Well then.
There are reasons. That ends Altor's turn.
And I imagine, Ginkgo, is that going to be your turn as well, or is there something special you wanted to do? You're muted, Ginkgo.
I was. No, I think everything's kind of turned around and we're not at focus anymore, so we're kind of on our way with Altor down to meet up at Greg's place. Check
right.
up on our cloud car.
So, I'm going to remove the 4 of you from initiative.
That seems fair.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna remove
Look at all the NPCs.
the robot. So
And Ren doesn't have any form of comlink, right?
correct.
That means no connection to us.
Correct.
There's probably a comm system in the vehicle.
Possibly.
You know better.
But
I don't think you can get
no,
our radio.
exactly. Knowing what like wavelength channel they're on.
No, I'm saying don't count on Ren to figure it
right.
out, but there's probably one in there if someone else wants to try.
So I'm gonna leave what happens next completely to the dice. Light side roll. The Bespin guard are so just surprised and distracted by what happened and worried about their camp comrade that they don't go after you, thinking that having a bunch of Bespin guard chasing after Ren through a busy tourist area would be dangerous. Dark side point, they go after you.
Let's do this.
This is the point where you spend one of the 6 dark side points.
Dark side.
What does two dark side do?
They caught him.
Do they go after him twice?
No, I'm not gonna be that bad. But I will say that only one of the 3 cars actually come after you.
So I'm being chased now.
You are being chased. However, because of the surprise, and they still have to get into their vehicles, they spend this turn getting into their vehicles.
Okay.
So right now, let me remove these other NPC slots because there's going to be 1 car on 1 car.
All right.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. You are, because of the distance that you're at, you've got a good jump on them, and you're going at max speed. Even if they punch it, they're still going to be a good
Matching.
distance. Exactly. So they're going to be like, you're essentially 3 phases ahead of them.
Okay.
If you
So
can,
I've got a good lead.
yeah, if you can pull off a maneuver to cause them to fall back by 1, you get away scot-free.
Okay. It has to be a maneuver or an action.
Either or. So do we want to take our break at this point so you can kind of take all this in? And
It's up to the crew. I'm game. If you guys want to take a quickie, I'm good. If you don't,
Break's fine. I could use a drink.
Okay. So we'll take say a 5-minute break at most. And we'll be
sounds good.
back and see both how this pans out and if the group can reunite without having the entire Bespin guard coming down on them.
Do you ever feel like you should have just ponied up the credits for those comm links?
I have a comm link. I just haven't plugged into you guys yet.
You haven't even had a chance to do proper introductions.
I haven't even talked. I know. I'm missing still half the team here. I haven't figured them out yet.
I didn't know I had to buy one.
At this
Everybody
point,
knows where I am.
all right. So I'm gonna
It's okay, that one was free.
All right. And we're back to Julie Yavin. All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see if we have anyone. Yeah, we have one person who's joined us since the start of the break. So I'm going to set the scene here for anyone who has joined us or just tuning in. Church has been abandoned by the rest of the party
So mean.
and decided to steal a race car, essentially, drive it through a garage door, ricochet it off a Bespin City Guards vehicle, and then just gun it down essentially the old strip while yelling, "Woo!" And now the guards, one Bespin guard has decided to chase after him. So during the break, Urban was kind enough to give me the page that the chase dynamics are on. And to describe to those who haven't played this before, the way chase works is it is a competitive piloting skill check where, depending on where they're racing through, we add on setback dice. So, Church, you are driving a Wingard Storm Cloud car. It is a silhouette of 2, and you're going at a speed of 4 since you gunned it. So I'm going to have you give me a piloting check. So add your piloting dice. Let me know you're ready when you're ready for the difficulty.
All right.
All right. So it's going to be your speed is going to be the difficulty, and the half the silhouette is going to be the upgrade. So it's going to be 3 purple, 1 red. Don't roll yet because we're going to add more dice.
Oh boy.
You are also shooting down a somewhat heavily populated area. While it's not overly populated, it is early morning. There are some drunken people making their way home from the casinos, stopping at restaurants. So this is going to be 1 setback dice.
So
1 black.
just the one. Okay.
Yes. And I'm going to flip one of my dark side tokens to say, as you're making it through the first intersection of you gunning it, a drunken Twi'lek comes stumbling out from an alley, kind of trips his way into the street. You have to make a quick dash to try and plowing over him because it's just a reaction, not that you actually care about him.
I mean, can I just cream him? I think Ren would just cream him and not really care.
Okay, you just cream him. The splatter of the blood has now scattered across the windshield of your vehicle, causing you 2 setback dice. So add 2 more setback dice to your roll.
We
Two
like
more.
Star Wars just went dark.
reality check. What's that?
So I can't see is what you're saying.
At this moment, you're running off instinct.
In a few seconds, it'll be clear though, because you're going so fast.
You got a
So
windshield wiper or anything?
is there a helmet in this vehicle?
Yeah, I'll give that one to you.
Does it
That's
have
what you're worried about.
does it have a visor?
If you wanted to. I'm not going to split hairs over this.
So I'm gonna grab real quick before we do anything. I'm grabbing the helmet, putting it on, pulling the visor down, and I'm
I'm
shooting
not
the window
saying
out.
anything.
So you're doing all this while going at max speed. Add another setback dice.
I can't see anyway. So yeah, I slam the helmet down, put the visor on, shoot the window out.
Let's go and let's do this.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Anything else we want to add?
I don't know. Do you? do you want to steal candy from a child while you're at it?
I mean, I was thinking something more along the lines of positive, but yeah.
Don't be incredibly surprised. He just murdered some people last session.
All right, I'm gonna do this. Here we go. I'm rolling.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Well, that's a lot of dice.
2 failures, 3 threats. All right.
Well,
This is about to be interesting.
So hold on,
Nope.
because
karma doesn't exist.
the Bespin guard have to roll. So this is your skill versus theirs. You might still come out on top.
On top of something.
Yes. So they are having similar difficulty because they're driving the same vehicle.
Handle the body parts that are hitting their car.
Sure, we'll add a setback from that.
Thank you.
They're not going at the same speed as you are, though. They gunned
So I'm
it from 1 to 3 rather than 1 to 4 because they still need to worry about the safety of the people around, so they're not going to be overly reckless. They'll just be
Suckers.
slightly reckless. So they're going to have a slightly less difficult roll. And
Suckers.
I'm going to add a black dice from being surprised from the initial you barreling out through a garage door.
All right.
Let's see how this does. 0 successes, 1 threat. They still come out better than you, though.
Not
fair.
by much.
No, not by much. So what that means is rather than you being what we'll say 4 ahead of them, they've caught up to you by 1. So now you're only 3 ahead of them.
Okay. Still running though, right?
Still running. So you're still ahead of them, but they've closed that gap slightly.
All right.
So describe to me, I want to hear, like, the guards jump into their vehicle. They start the pursuit. They see you just plow over this drunk Twi'lek, body parts and mist of blood in the air. They're slightly horrified at what just happened. What happens to your vehicle from, like, how do you envision your failure at driving to occur?
Well, like I said, I put the helmet on, I slammed the visor down, I shot the window out. I probably lost my grip a little bit, and the thing starts skittering like this, kind of like doom, 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 like knocking off buildings and other vehicles just a little bit, not enough to completely wreck it, but enough to kind of slow me down a little bit, letting them catch up as they did. So I think right now is when I would try to like grab the throttle
Okay.
and right myself. And as fun as it was to cream the Twi'lek, I need to start getting out of the street. So I'm going to start pulling back on it to try and slowly gain some altitude and increase my speed back up to what it was.
Okay. All right. So you're still plowing your way down through this old strip going at max speed, but now you're trying to gain a little bit of velocity. I want you to make the same setup in terms of piloting skill, 3 purple, 1 red. Your setback, however, is only going to be 1.
Because I shot the window out.
Because you shot the window out and you didn't blast the Twi'lek, and I'm not spending another dark side point to have another person walk in front of you.
I hope not. All right, here we go.
Because they will end up inside the car.
All right. 0 successes, 4 threats. So
No failures, though.
No failures. That's good. So they end up with a similar, so 3 purple. They're going to have their 2 plus 1 red. They are going to get a bonus dice because of the threats that you had encountered and the ricochet that you had and you having to kind of course correct. They get a bonus from that. They have the same 1 setback that you had. And I'm going to throw another setback on there just because they are they have not seen such recklessness at this level of Cloud City in some time. So these guys they're green. They're just like, what the hell? 2 successes.
Oh, no.
One guy in there normally works the industrial sector beat, and he says, "Oh, he's pulling a Louis."
he's driving. He's like, Grandma always said, slow and steady wins the race.
Like new cop who's like so green that they're really into their job.
Yes.
Gunning for that promotion.
All right. So he has gone from 3 to 2 distance. So he's closing up. He's halfway to you now.
He's right on my tail, basically.
He's about 1 car distance back, we'll say. So there's kind of a car's distance between you now.
How much elevation have I achieved?
Not a whole, like you're maybe halfway up of a building, but they're starting to elevate at the same rate.
You probably won't hit another literal pedestrian.
So, all right, I'm gonna play it safe one more round. I'm just gonna punch it through.
Okay.
Still trying to kind of gain the altitude and shake him.
Same max speed?
Max speed, yeah.
All right. Same setup of the dice.
Three and a setback.
Yes. And I'm going to flip another token. You'll have another setback dice. Just as you're climbing up, one of the casino signs, which was dim before, all of a sudden lights up in bright white light, causing you to flinch for a brief moment as you have to regain and your eyes have to readjust to your vision has to adjust to the brightness. So you get another setback from that.
So as you're flipping these, do they become force tokens that I could use?
Yes. But
I
you
would like to
can't
use one.
you can't use one to negate. So
No, I don't want to negate. I
Well,
don't want to negate.
you tell me what you're doing, because generally you can't use one the same time I use one. But you can use one like next turn. But
I
tell
want to
me
hit
what
the
you
brakes. I want to slam this thing as close to a full stop as I can and make him collide.
That'll be your next turn. 'Cause
Okay,
you are-
I'm stuck to it now because I've said it. So I'll use the force token next time around to try to do that. I want to make him wreck into me.
You won't even have to use a force token for that. You can just drop your speed.
All right. So yeah, here, let me just get the piloting one out of the way this time. Oh, 4 failures and an advantage.
Wait, you are not a pilot.
I am not a pilot.
Just screaming. Ah!
They're going to get the same setback on them from the bright light, though. So
That's fair.
gonna keep it fair. 0 successes, 4 advantages. So they are now on your tail. They've
Perfect.
closed it from being you were 4 ahead. Now they're just 1 ahead. They're right on you.
Okay. So yeah, I am going to just grit my teeth, grab that pistol in one hand so I have it firmly, and I'm just slamming that thing into a full stop right in front of him.
So you're going from 4 to 1 in speed.
Yeah, that's why I was bracing myself for the deceleration.
Okay. Do the same type of piloting check.
Okay. 3 purple, 1 red.
And I'm going to make it just 1 setback for you.
Okay, I do want to use my force token
To
not die. I want to basically here's what I want to do. I want to decelerate to 0, right? Let him just slam into the back of me.
Okay.
And then punch it again.
So if you succeed, that's what you'll do. Go ahead and flip one of the light side tokens to give you a bonus dice.
All right, and were there setbacks?
Just one setback, one black.
Okay. Fingers crossed for me, guys. Here we go. Here we go. 2 failures, 2 threats.
So,
At what point do you explode?
this car is just like one of the doors is hanging off now. The windshield has been shot out. So, let's see.
He just threw a literal racing sky car into max reverse thrust while going at forward full speed.
I'm going to give him an additional setback because of you flipping that token. You get a bonus. He's getting a setback because he wants to try and avoid dying from colliding into you.
Awesome.
But he's too close to really do anything, like at that speed.
1 success, 4 threats.
So you, unfortunately, you attempt this maneuver. The guard has had just enough training to where he can evade you, and he actually bumps the back of your vehicle, causing your vehicle to go into a spin out.
Like a flat spin.
Yeah, flat spin. You crash into the side of the building. Smoke starts to billow out from the hood of the car.
All right, so am I crashed and stopped?
Yeah, the car's immobilized at this point.
Okay.
Sabotage success.
So I'm in the. I've crashed into the side of the building. I'm hanging there.
Yes.
I want to kick open the cockpit and try to jump through a window.
We'll say you're about 5 stories up. Go ahead and I'll let it happen because you crashed in through the window. There's a hole. I'm not gonna make you roll any type of acrobatics check.
Oh, I don't mind. We're getting into my good skills now.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make you do that because this is it just is.
Are you sure? Because I have a hole in my leg.
Yeah. All right. Roll an acrobatics check. I forgot.
Totally entertaining.
You talked me into it.
You mean athletics?
Yeah.
All right, athletics with.
Because you're leg 3 purple.
And I want to use the other force if I can.
Yeah, just explain how you're gonna use it to give you a bonus.
So with Ren's cultural discipline, even though he's a crazy man, but he is completely focused on his goal, which is why he ends up in these situations, because he's just an unstoppable force of chaos. He just completely just tones out the pain in his leg completely. Like he can feel it. He knows it's throbbing. It's there. He's probably tearing it as he goes, but he is so dedicated and pissed off and focused that he just doesn't care. He is pulling this off. He is going to survive, and he's going to hunt this piece of shit down at some point when this is all said and done and stomp a mud hole in his ass. But for now, he's got to get away.
All right. Let's see the roll. Give yourself a bonus dice.
All right. Here we go. 0 successes, 1 advantage.
So you climb out through the window with your bum leg. You manage to get out of the windshield of the cloud car, start climbing into the hallway of the building that you're into. Your leg, the clothing of your leg gets caught on some scrap metal in the vehicle. You have to stand there and kind of tug at it to get it loose. As you do, you break free, but the swaying to get your leg free has caused the vehicle to dislodge itself. You go rolling into the building. You find yourself prone, but the vehicle has dislodged itself and flipped as it starts to fall careening off of the police car as it's approaching to close the gap, causing them
Nice.
to have to land from their vehicle taking damage.
Nice. So I'm going to get up and start.
Limp your way away.
I'm going to get lost in the building. Like I'm going to go disappear in a somewhere. That's why I'm looking for a place to hide now.
Okay. Just for the sake of storytelling, I'm not going to drag this out into a bunch of skill checks. I'm going to say that you do actually find some broom closet in the building where you're able to hunker down, lock the door, and wait it out until kind of any type of search party clears itself.
Would it be possible to find some type of communication device in the building? I don't know if it's a hotel
I'm
or
just
something.
going to say don't get greedy.
Okay. No, that's fine. If it's a hotel, I figure they have a comm system.
No, it'd be just like a business building. So
Okay. No, that's fine. I'll go hide.
Yeah, there's phones and stuff, but then we're starting to get into the whole we can roll against security cameras picking you up. We can roll against the guard calling in for backup, and
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Besides, I want to see what the rest of the guys are doing.
yeah, and that's where we're going to cut the scene over to Ginkgo and
Gotta do the
Delta
transition.
and IG. Yeah, I should get a page like that made up.
The
All right.
transition.
So the rest of the group was meeting back up at Grex. Is that accurate?
Yes.
As I understand it.
Okay. You make yourself back to Grex in short order. Luckily, with Ren's heroic actions to distract the city guard, there's no one after you, and as far as you can tell, they have no idea that you were there.
Altor looks over at IG, kind of shrugs and says, 2 out of 3?
It ain't bad. I like these odds.
So,
I would play those odds.
So as we're walking in, I'm still talking to Delta here because I'm still kind of new to the whole group here, and so as I'm walking in, I'm going. So was that like the initiation? Am I in? Did that work? I mean, that was okay. Was that the whole crew? Because that was actually pretty crappy, but it worked, right? I mean, and he keeps going on and on and on talking, just almost nonstop, excited at the opportunity here that he has with these guys. That was great.
Delta is lying her ass off. That was all and well, at least mostly under plan. And yes, it was the initiation. We're not incompetent.
Slow, please. Delta, who is this?
This is Arden. You give your character name, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. This is Arden. He says he knows the Gray Ghost, or rather, he's willing to play the role of the Gray Ghost for us. Fill the same role. I was bringing him to meet up with us, and we had to do that initiation test, essentially. The security camera test. Wink, wink. Delta attempts to wink with her her metallic skull-shaped visor on. Just one of the. It just looks like one of the robotic eyes just flickering.
Makes sense. Must test your hackers.
Exactly.
Make sure they can do the thing that you're gonna have them do.
Yeah. So he reaches out. Arden reaches out to greet the handshake. He says, It's great to meet you. And an IG unit of all things. I mean, this crew isn't half bad at all. So I am not going to disappoint you guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just lost our bad half.
Well, situation like this is best to watch Blotter to see what comes. There was a small explosion, I saw. No guarantees. And with that, he actually pulls up his own data pad and begins scrolling for the Bespin blotter to check the latest news on the high-speed chase.
So we're gonna say that it actually took some time because you guys were being cautious, sticking to back alleys, trying to be discreet to get back to Grex. So I would say that about a half the day has actually gone by before you guys meet back up, and that should cover the time for Ren to have had his action, hide out, and at least get out of the building kind of discreetly. He hasn't met back up with the party yet, but that'll cover the time gap. So now you're about late morning, and there is enough information on the news about potential theft from the Skyhawks, someone trying to possibly hedge their bets, some drunken, like there's just all different types of new drunken free rider or joyriders steals car, crashes into building, police embarrassed, man at large.
There's one person going like, yeah, we're pretty sure someone was trying to sabotage. One of the other drivers was trying to sabotage this. Other reporter, did you see their driving? Are you sure it was another one of the drivers?
Yeah, I mean, and then you have, of course, like the Inquirer style one where it's like bad boy steals race car.
A classic. He's scrolling. He's scrolling. He says, "See, look, man at large."
Okay, that's a good sign.
Good. It's good.
If he's in one piece, he'll probably meet us back at my my base, or my base of operation.
Base, ship, perhaps.
Oh, you're right. You guys have a place too.
We shall see. First, we will check with Greg.
Yeah, let's. We should check in with Greg. See how the upgrades on our ship have gone.
Who in the group had the contact information for Eris? That was you, right, Altor?
Yeah, that's me.
So as you're heading towards Grex, your communication device starts to kind of chirp that you have an incoming communication.
Voice call or text?
Voice call.
Excuse me, gentlemen. He pulls it up. Is it Eris?
It's Eris. You have kind of this little hologram of Eris show up, and she looks pissed. And she just launches into this just rapid fire. What the hell do you think you people are doing? I am paying your group good money. You are putting this entire endeavor at risk. What the hell am I paying for?
What is the correct skill to calm an angry client?
Got to be cool.
Cool would be the best one. If there's another one you think might be fitting better.
Let me give a flip
Deception, if you want to try and lie to her. It was not us. It was other drunken hobo. Did you see article about Bat Boy?
You play the cool factor, trying to spin this how this is actually really good.
We'll go with it's a shame I'm not much of a charmer, because that would be funnier.
Yeah.
You could try that.
When you have to be the face, but you were not intending to be the face.
Sucks to be you.
Such is life. I don't have a hole in my leg, so I'm doing okay.
Fair.
Listen. These circumstances were not by any means part of plan. We are not yet sure why the cloud car was taken in this means. The first we merely sabotaged. Allow us time to locate missing team member. Then we shall call you back and continue on with plan.
Listen, I am paying for discretion. I'm not paying for you hillbillies to go in there and shoot everything up. If I wanted that, I could have hired any other backwater planet. I'm speechless. I thought I was hiring professionals. I am not going to go down with you. If it push comes to shove, I have a contingency plan and you will take the fall for this. Am I clear?
Would not be first time I do a quick visit to jail. But again, give us time. We call back.
Just get it done. And she hangs up.
Perfect. Most importantly, Altor did not reveal that the actual boss is MIA. You forgot about Tosh Kreth, didn't you?
I did not.
You did not, but I was talking to the audience. So technically, the actual leader of this mercenary criminal enterprise is missing, pursued by figures unknown, and things are a little disorganized right now.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
He looks at the data pad for a moment. He tucks it into his shirt. Why do people always think that violence is cheaper somehow? For violence, I charge so much more.
It's fair.
Explosion, incredibly expensive.
Delta shrugs. In the bounty hunter business, generally, subtlety and discretion pays a little bit better than, big explosions, a lot of catastrophic side damage. In fact, you tend to lose money a lot more there.
I'm just going to point out that I haven't actually shot anybody.
Stabs.
And the news articles have not even mentioned the pulpified Twi'lek. So
I'm sure he was in there as an unfortunate victim of a high-speed chase.
Well, that happened.
I'll ending here, probably some distance from Honest Grex.
Okay.
He says, IG, may I borrow you?
yeah, sure. What's up?
We must discuss missing elements of team. Friends, may I speak privately with IG? We'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Let's walk off down an alleyway a little bit.
And Arden turns and starts talking to Delta. He's got some stuff to show him on the data pad. There he goes.
All right.
Delta watches them walk off. She doesn't trust Altor, but she also oddly trusts IG for some reason.
It's the trustworthy face.
Perfectly machined.
Face,
Uh-huh.
which is actually kind of true.
So At a reasonable distance, not even necessarily out of sight, just far enough away for the appearance of privacy.
Okay.
Altor turns to you, IG, and says, IG, we have problems.
Problems.
Multiple problems. Rin, of course, missing, though maybe recovered. Tosh, missing. Not ideal. He has ship's registration. He has account that will receive payments from, employers, accounts that holds running money. Of original crew is just you and I here. Maybe Rin return. Maybe Tosh gets away from whoever. If not,
You guys are forgetting about the other party member that was also kidnapped with Tosh.
he is missing in action as well. This is true.
Yep.
Regardless, we must have contingency. Employer desires we should take fall in event of catastrophic failure. I desire we should take Jewel in event of catastrophic failure.
Might I make a suggestion?
Yes.
How about in event of catastrophic failure, we murder employer and take Jewel?
When we get Jewel, they will be far away. What can they do to stop us? We must secure. Funds, payment for Jewel. This new one, this Arden, perhaps he can secure with the right info. Regardless, much as I enjoy challenge, I do not wish to break out of Bespin prison again. I hear many good things about security since last time. Of course, two does not an enterprise make. Delta, Arden, we keep.
Their use can be found for them.
Very valuable, but
They are only 98% meat.
Such high praise. IG, you have made friend.
And IG's heart grew 2 sizes this day.
You vastly overestimate how few cybernetics I have.
I mean, no, I'm using that as a collective. Like between the two of you, it's probably about an average 98% meat total.
Is good.
Because Arden is probably 100% meat, and Delta is arguably like 3.
Yes.
So, averages.
Alto
But
goes is good.
Arden gets a chip or like an extra point in the pros column because he can talk to machines.
Mm-hmm. You speak the language, you're halfway there.
Yep.
Delta probably can overhear. I suspect ears enhanced.
Yeah,
Arden perhaps not. So, is good. Let us return.
Okay.
Delta did not overhear. Delta is currently just like arms folded at Arden. I'm assuming Arden's been talking to Delta. You said,
Yeah.
Delta's like got that trying to put up like a cold front. I don't think it's working very well. just like trying to keep distance, but it's just like not having just like no effect.
I'm still just plastering away at the information here. And as the other two come back, I'd like to point out to him as I turn the data pad to him, I was like, now check this out. As I was accessing the systems here, I was noticing these subroutines. These here are governmental subroutines. They shouldn't be in here from this. This is interesting. And so I'd like to actually, inform them of what I saw in there, letting them know about this information that seemed out of place.
Okay.
And I don't need to make the check now, but I would like to actually research that government subroutine with the computers check later or whenever I have time to look it up.
Okay.
Alto observes your data pad. He says, "Wonderful, wonderful. You hold this." He hands it back. We speak to man about car.
About those subroutines, anything I could do to help? I might have a few contacts I can reach out to.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could pull our resources together, and I think we could come up with whatever this is. This is really interesting. And I mean, Arden is just fascinated with this. He's like wondering why this is here.
GM, is there a knowledge check I could make about this, like pulling up a data pad, or rather, hey Delphi,
Yeah.
I've got a job for you.
You could roll, I'd say, underground or checking out stats real quick to see what else would fit. Unless you think there's something that you'd want to use, you can always propose using something. But I'm leaning towards. No, I'd lean towards underground or streetwise.
Okay. Delta will like not talking to anybody. She'll like ping in her head. Hey Delphi, I need you to pull up some information on me. And she's going to feed through the information through her mural recorder of the government sign and information and basically what government she's dealing with. Do you have any information on this through your network? And Delphi is going to make a roll. Since I'm using my ally for this, what's difficulty?
For which check? The looking
sure.
this up. Since it's a government code and you have a screenshot of it, I'd say it's just big 1 purple.
Okay. Rolling them dice. 3 successes and 3 advantages.
There you go. So going through this, you can actually tell that, or your sister relays back to, I should say, that this is a subroutine that ties into a lot of government facilities, and these are systems that are actually monitored by the main or the chief, I believe it's like the chief technology expert of Bespin.
Oh. So I've got bad news for you, Arden.
What's that?
Lobot.
So
That's his name.
Bobot?
Lobot. So
Lobot.
all these systems tie into like the government database. And since what you're able to tell is that since the Skyhawks, I think is who it was, are sponsored by a big corporation, they've greased the right wheels to have their systems kind of secured or monitored by the government here in Bespin, which means that Lobot has access to their systems.
I have really bad news for you, Arden. So, according to my contact, there is something called a Lobot that monitors what? I'm sorry, there's a person named Lobot. My bad. That monitors these things, and they are basically the chief of security for the government investment.
What are they doing in their system? That was the other
Well,
team, right?
yes, apparently they were sponsored, so they probably greased the wheels of somebody. Grease the palms.
Flicker of light shines in Arden's eyes, like, I'm gonna find out more about this. And he's like almost instantly starts going onto the data pad and just starts digging in.
What I'm saying is, you probably should work on also covering your tracks very, very, very well, because they'll probably be investigating
Got it.
this.
Got it.
The fuck
Yep.
that was raised.
So
Almost didn't even hear you say that, but he just says, got it. Keeps going.
Okay then.
So what you uncover from your research is you actually find a lot of information about Lobot. And Lobot is arguably next to Lando, and others would say even more so. He's one of the most powerful people in Bespin. He's been around Bespin through many regime changes. He has cybernetics in his brain where all of the government computers can be remotely accessed by him at any time. And he himself is essentially a master control protocol for the government computers. Everything feeds through him. So he can pull up any computer system at any time, any database that's tied into the government network, and pull up information instantaneously.
So he starts digging in. He's like, so now is this, now I've been on Bespin for a while. So is that a name that I should know as a Star Wars fan? Yes, I know who he is.
Yeah,
but
as someone on Bespin who's especially someone who is a slicer, you've kind of had to tread carefully and override many of his systems. And he's probably your biggest nemesis on this planet because of his fingers being in so many tight-knit groups.
So he starts relaying some of that information, that he knows about Lobot to the rest of the crew here, and he just goes on, almost like in too much babbling. He's excited, but then he gets caught up in what he's doing. Then he starts babbling out more information, almost to the point like what Delta was saying, is where they just stop listening because I'm just constantly talking.
So you said he is cybernetically enhanced?
Yes. Beyond what any of us would even understand.
Machine supremacy. I understand. I might not understand how smart he actually is, but I understand the capabilities of the machine.
Okay. All right. I'm going to continue researching this, and I will. And is looking at, he's walking away. He turns back to the rest of the crew. He's like, I'll get you more information as soon as I can on this. And he just starts digging in and starts ignoring the rest of the crew and starts walking away slowly as he's researching more data. He leaves the crew to do whatever they're doing now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna go check in with Greg, see how the upgrades to the cloud car for the race that we're using have come
That
along.
was the plan indeed.
So
But we are a little bit interested in the fact that one of the other race teams is receiving, government sponsorship.
all right. So
We knew it was corpo sponsorship. We just didn't realize the corpo government tie was so tightly wound
and
in this place.
I'm just going to point this out because I don't know if you guys have connected these dots yet. Through this action, you went in to sabotage the vehicle. There is no greater way of sabotaging the other racer's vehicle than crashing it into an office building.
That does happen.
This is true.
If there was, Ren would have found that way too.
Just like a few moments from now, just like, well, it can't get any worse. Car explodes.
So you guys, you make your way into Honest Greg's shop. You don't see anyone up front, so you actually go back into the back garage. You see him actually slamming the hood of the car down, turning around, sees everyone, gets a big old smile on his face. Party! Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Let me tell you, this thing's a beaut. The best upgrades. You're definitely going to win. By the way, did you hear that craziness last night? The Skyhawks, they're pissed. They're having to scramble, find a new vehicle. Oh, let me tell you, the bookies themselves, they're even angrier. The Skyhawks, they were the #1 favorite to bring this home. Now they're scrambling. They don't know what car they're going to have. The racers are going to have to, they've spent years and months just upgrading this vehicle. The race itself, it's anyone's game.
Could not believe when I saw. Greg, I assure you, utter madness. How is our cloud car?
Oh, it's the best. I had no problems installing the upgrade, and this paint job, let me tell you, it is a beaut. Look at this. This is a rare black paint that I got on here, and this red splatter that the droid wanted, I don't understand it, but I think it works actually pretty well.
IG, does it meet specification?
Yeah, we're kind of gonna walk around the cloud car and give it a scan with our oculars. Yeah. From what we can detect, of color, it looks great.
I like it. I've been told that red makes cars go faster. My sisters say I'm an idiot because I believe that, but I just think they have no sense of imagination.
Now, the final details I just need to know so I can put it on the car is just what's the team name? And every great race team has a name. That way what did you register with?
That's a very good question.
Oh, fuck.
No. We did. I kid. He pulls up his data pad. What did we register under? Because I think Eris handles our registration.
She did.
Can you call Eris real quick?
We have the
she can
info.
pull up the registration. What do you guys want your name to be?
The Renegades.
At this point, I'm leaning towards catastrophe.
MDK, murder, death, kill. You want catastrophe?
No, that's too silly.
Oh, it's gotta be something. It's gotta be something stupid and zany, like a Kentucky Derby horse.
That's a hard one to match on the fly. Those things are incredible.
I know.
It's like a Lollapalooza band.
Mhm.
Crinkle Hook.
Beer can wishes and caviar dreams.
The Whiskey Tongue Kiss.
So just choose a band name, really.
More or less.
How about Ugnaught Spit?
Hey, there we go.
There you go. You want that?
Yeah.
I'll roll
Do
with
it.
that.
I'm fine with Ugnaught Spit. Delta isn't, but Delta didn't have a say.
So he scans the party. He's like, what? You all agree with this? And then he stops and he looks at. Oh wait, never mind. He walked away. Arden's not here, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still off on my own there.
All right, good. All right. So he just scans the group, sees everyone kind of agrees. He's like, All right. You want this in the same blood red?
Seems good.
You named the team Ugnuts then. Glare.
Is my favorite. It's basically the in-universe equivalent of White Lightning, which is a decent team name for a racing team.
So he
Okay.
shrugs his
I
shoulders
concur.
and says, "All right, I'll get the name thrown on there, and it'll be ready for race day. I mean, you guys prepared? Have you had good night's rest? I mean, this is gonna come quick. This is gonna be pretty intense. You got less than a day before the race starts."
We're already that close.
Dear friend Greg, our capacity for rest will soon be tested. But I assure you, our friend here is good for next. What do you think, IG? 400 years?
At least.
Oh, the droid is piloting.
Yes.
Oh, most teams use the droid as a gunner for their precision. It's been a while since we had a racer who was a droid. I think the last one was probably an R2 unit. Not much of a personality on that one.
Well, I should be doing the gunning, but I'm doing the piloting too. Maybe I can do both. Two hands. Can I plug in this car?
I highly recommend having a second person, because once you actually start the race and you're flying through the clouds, visibility gets low, you have other people launching shots at you, especially if you're in the lead, you have a whole crap load of different obstacles that can come out of nowhere. You really need to be focused on your maneuvering and reaction time. And if you're trying to do, and I understand you're probably some badass robot or droid, but I encourage you, keep your protocols focused on one objective. Have someone else focus on the guns.
For the gunning, we have Delta.
Yeah, Delta places her mechanical hand on IG. Don't worry, I'll have your back.
Delta, you should perhaps familiarize self with gunnery station aboard.
That sounds reasonable. I should also say, if it comes up, I can use this. She says, like holding up her I guess flesher hand, which really doesn't look flesh because it's covered in like this heavy metal, like think power armor basically.
Mhm.
And like the little like energy projector kind of flashes. She creates that like dome energy shield and then collapses back. I can ask my mechanic to help me expand that a little bit. For the race, should provide a bit of a shield.
Armor is fairly thick, but if you want,
Oh, this armor's thick. This blocks shit. This blocks fire.
I will not say how to do your job. You are professional.
But yeah, I can also handle the gunnery. I'm not specialized in artillery, but well, third time for everything.
Love to see plan come together. Greg, we take our leave. We return to ship. We rest.
So
See you come morning.
as you guys are leaving the shop, you see this worse for wear Ren just kind of hobbling his way down the alley, arm against the wall, just kind of dragging his leg as he limps his way towards the group.
Alto immediately takes off his concealing robes and puts them onto Ren.
Oh, thanks. You know, this piloting stuff's not that hard.
I believe IG will succeed with more pieces remaining.
I hope you've got a teapot back at HQ because I got stories.
Come along. And Altor lends him a double shoulder and supports him on the way back to the ship.
Do you have a medic?
No.
Like,
Nope.
you see like Delta's eyes kind of like survey Ren for a little while, just kind of like sizing him up. Don't make me regret this. You can take him back to my place. I have someone who can work on him.
I mean, we just met, but okay.
You're part of,
Wonderful.
you're part of the team. You're part of the job. I have to look out for you. I'm a professional, after all.
Where did Slicer go? Where is this Arden?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Just stop talking. Listen for the babbling. There he is.
Has he just wandered off down the street, nose buried in a data pad?
Yep.
Hacker to the very last. We'll go grab him first.
Nice that we left.
Awesome.
They found their moment to escape the constant vicar.
So yeah, we do need to talk to him. So you're coming with Arden, unless you object strongly.
Oh no, I'm coming. Yeah, whatever. I'm coming to whatever. I need to get back into it.
Wonderful. Off to Deltas.
So, yeah, hobble on. You know, Ren, he's wisecracking and making jokes the whole way.
Delta the whole way is like just trying to determine whether revealing her sisters to these people is a good idea or not. No, this is terrible. Did you see what Ren did? Why would you introduce your sisters to a murderer?
So as you make your way towards your hideout, essentially, you actually see the news feeds all through the squares running just headlines of Skyhawks crippled, bookies scrambling to adjust odds, and then you get to this big hollow projector that actually shows this police quarantined, not quarantined. Cordoned, that's the word. Area that has a crashed cloud car at the base of a building and smoke just still billowing out of the crash location.
Man,
Small thumbs up to Ren.
you know, I almost wish they'd gotten a good picture of me.
No, you don't.
Good that
Well,
they did. 'Cause if they did, we would have to probably kill you.
That's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't hold it against you, but I mean, you know, people aren't going to believe this when I tell stories. Did you see what I did?
Yeah, I saw what
I
you did. Did
heard.
you see what they did? I mean, look at the odds here. You know, I could fix this, and we could just make some real money on this.
That was part of the plan.
I like money.
I mean, if you have spare money lying around, it might not be a bad idea to bet on us.
At the mention of the odds, IG kind of perks up and kind of grabs your data pad.
Beep, beep.
Sorry, we're looking at this now. I have to see the numbers.
I'm just going to present what money.
Fair point.
We broke as hell, and we're in 40,000 credits of debt.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have obligation already from the debt, from the loan you took out so you could afford this cloud car.
I have 10 credits.
Yeah, but I thought this was part of the getting the credits back scheme from the beginning.
Yeah, winning. Winning's imperative.
I
Yeah.
know
Well,
if you
the
could
total
Dipping on the winnings.
hedging the bets work, but you have to have money to place a bet.
Yeah.
To win something.
Even if the odds are in your favor to double your bet, you have 10 credits, you're getting 20 back.
Unless
yeah.
somebody wants to hit up a loan shark.
Well, okay, so it's
By hit up, do you mean
Altor,
murder?
like
Well, I mean, Ren means murder, but I mean, if
that's
outside of Ren, I mean, if somebody wants to take out a dangerous loan from a hut and place a sizable bet on a sure thing.
Actually, you know what?
I just figured like our race sponsor might want in on, you know.
He just gave you guys a free engine.
Don't tell actually the size of that IG. You interested in betting? You interested in gambling?
Always.
Think it's a good idea to bet on us?
I always bet on myself.
Well, what? I might have something I can put down as collateral for a loan shark. Want to see if we can place a bet?
Yeah, my character sheet says I have 615 credits.
That is not accurate.
It's should be.
Well, you know, if this encourages you at all, IG, you hedged a bet on me earlier and you handed me this pistol. I just wanted to return it.
Thank you.
Sorry about the scratches.
Adds character.
Yeah. She does like shuffles through her stuff. I could put my hand scanner on as collateral. It's worth about 100.
Altor is whistling.
You got something on your mind there, big guy. What's up?
The betting. Normally, you would bet on someone else and then throw race. And all of this money is nothing compared to Jewel.
True.
Well, you're right, but getting a little extra cash might be able to help us get some fucking comlings for you guys. How do you live without communication? I'm sorry?
Not Ren. IG, you grow slightly irritated at the comment of Altor dismissing gambling.
Okay. Irritated?
Yeah,
By not gambling?
yeah.
Listen, Altor. We're gambling.
For you, IG is different. For you, it's like me and building with security.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to deny you an opportunity to circumvent security.
You've never stopped me from putting holes in anything.
Right. Earlier today, I let you try to pick the door before we went in blasting.
You know, IG, you're right. This was rude. But
there's always time for gambling.
There is time. We must have Rin patched. There's so much time. Plus,
I can't gamble on myself. But if you be seen to be making bets on myself, that's
Bookie would
against
not take
gambling rules.
But if you need money, I mean, you spoke to our employer, right? I mean, they must have seen the news of the amazing thing we just pulled off. They'll probably throw money at us.
Not exactly. Our employer would probably want to fund some secret gamblings to make back an additional profit and steal from some other people.
Our employer is
like a double heist.
Very well aware of news.
They're thrilled, right?
Using term employer very tenuously in this instance.
They want to join us. They're excited with what we've done and want to hands-on. Is that what you mean?
Performance was, I'm sure, to noble-born resident of Cloud City, very intimidating. We are now on thin, very thin ice, and intent is expressly to cut us loose if this continues.
I don't understand these people.
I will explain at Delta.
Altor. What? But the ship through the garage and it spun around it. I exploded a Twi'lek for this.
Listen, when you do
You
a job,
exploded a Twi'lek?
I did.
The news didn't even mention it.
No. Oh
No,
my!
it wasn't even.
Plowed right through the poor bastard. Turned into a fine red mist. I had to shoot the cockpit out just so I could see.
Oh,
I
that
saw
sounds like a good story.
no, don't worry, I saw that one. Delta says, looking over your head at like a news feed that you see, it's like, it's like on loop. Yeah. Very impressive.
Arden reaches back, he grabs the data pad and says, so clearly our employer wants a more civilized approach here. So maybe a little more subtlety is involved. And he starts plugging away on this data pad again.
Well, I mean,
So
we're subtle.
Desires of employer is not always priority number one. Our business is not known for customer service.
Well, I think we'll just have to be a little bit more subtle going forward in the future. Try not to draw too much attention to ourselves, which I'd personally prefer too. I wouldn't like to gain a significant criminal record, but
Well, it works just as well if you leave nobody standing to tell the story. That's still stealth.
Altor gestures at Rin as if this is the best idea.
Yes, I mean, that also increases security generally, so...
Oh yeah, after the
Altor is
fact.
still gesturing. He loves that.
After the fact, they'll increase security, but, you know.
Yeah. Anyways, I think
It's
we're...
only a problem if you want to go back sometime in the future.
It's worked for us in the past.
going through it.
Yeah. This
But
is your place, right, Delta?
Yes, I believe so.
You're
mean,
probably a lot smarter at this than we are. Like, I'm used to just removing problems. This is removing merchandise. It's not really my strong point. So, I mean, I'll hear your side of it. You're a bounty hunter, you said, I believe.
Bounty hunter, freelance mercenary every now and then. Sometimes run security, but I usually capture people. Usually alive. But
Yeah, that is a unique talent. Altor, alive. Alive. Man, like that's so much more difficult.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this concept of
Would seem so.
taking the meat alive.
it's,
I'm impressed. We should try it once.
it's a bit more difficult, so that's why they usually pay a little bit more money. Also, the one advantage is that when you accidentally miss a shot and shoot somebody, all you end up with is a little minor disturbance thing rather than some huge collateral damage fees.
We just call that accidental discharge.
Yeah. Turns out people are real upset about that, though, if you're technically law enforcement. Scratches back of
Indeed.
head.
Indeed.
But how do you get a reputation that way, though?
You get a reputation for doing the job with minimal collateral damage. And, it starts to spread around that, hey, you can get this person in the middle of a busy city without killing everybody else on accident.
It's different usage of reputation, Rin.
I see.
Points. Most bounty hunters are like this. Like, generally, you want to keep collateral damage to a minimum, unless, you're like a demolitionist or something like that.
And people don't, I mean this respectfully, but people don't make fun of you for this?
No, they usually make fun of the ones that can't do it.
Oh. Altar, we need to look into this. IG. Why didn't you ever tell me about this?
Because it's so much easier to just kill the meat from 700 yards away.
Ren, you know I specialize in non-living metals, don't?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Delta, you definitely get the impression that Ren is ribbing you.
Okay.
So so you guys are back at Delta's place for Ren to heal up. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe get a new leg.
Yeah, IG would like to comment on Ren's lack of, or rather delicate stamina as we've walked back from Greg's place.
All right.
Perhaps you should consider some cybernetic implants.
Well, I mean, is that an option?
Well, it depends on how much money you have.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a problem. But I mean, wouldn't that give me an unfair advantage in a fight? I mean, I don't want to make it easy.
Mechanical superiority.
Like, I don't understand what his problem is.
I don't either. Mechanical supremacy.
Ren, you use knives.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just to make it fair. Could you imagine me wielding pistols? I'd be unstoppable.
You could have knife legs.
Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Absolutely, it's a thing.
have you seen those things that like the Olympic runners use? Those things are like knives.
What are the Olympics?
Shit. Adding a knife to your leg, like to your cybernetic leg, would be a bit expensive. But heck, I could add it to your armor if you've got some decent one. That's one of the easiest things to add.
So you can just add knives all over me.
The
You
boot
could
knife actually is the
be
easiest one.
knives.
Well, I tell you, let's. I'm broke, ridiculously. I'm actually about 40 grand in the hole, as we all are. Why don't we just fix this for now, and we'll look at maybe an upgrade down the road. Maybe if I could just, shoot knives out of my eyes, or my fingers could turn into knives, or I don't know, maybe I could just store more knives in my leg so I could just whip them out and throw them. Or maybe I could just, if IG could transform into a knife and I could just pick him up and beat things to death with it. IG knife.
IG could find a way to store knives in your leg.
Yeah, but I know the way you store knives, the same way I store knives in other people's bodies.
So I'm going to say at this point, while Arden is actually going through his tablet still, or his data pad, working through just different information, he gets a pop-up that appears on the data pad, and you guys can all hear it. And it's this guy with like a booming an announcer's voice going, "This is Michael Buffer here to all you racing fans. We're just a few short hours away from this year's rally. You're going to want to be sure to get there early. The lines have already started to form with people camping out. Get your bets in and be sure to tune in just a few short hours when the racers arrive at their starting positions and this year's Derby kicks off."
Alter pulls out his data pad and like taps it a couple of times, like somebody, thunking on their wristwatch.
So we're gonna call the shift, or call the session after that. I really enjoyed the way this session went tonight.
It was exciting.
I did not know how this was gonna go. I really enjoyed the chase scene. I did not expect it to go that way.
Glad we didn't have to kill Ren to prevent him from talking to the cops, or like Saw Gerrera's brain rape squid.
It's not too late to kill Ren now.
Poor Ren. I I wondered for a minute there. I did. I wondered if he was going to make it.
If you did not succeed that dice roll to jump into the building, like if you would have failed that with threat, you'd be sitting in jail right now. Or dead if you would
Or
have fought
dead.
them. Yeah, it's one or the other.
That was a stunning number of really bad rolls. I was kind of in awe.
Well, that's what you
Oh,
get
yeah.
for a non-pilot piloting.
Yeah.
This is
So,
true.
for the next session, what I want everyone to be prepared for, because the next session is actually, I should ask everyone, is the April 2nd work for everyone? I believe that's a holiday weekend for some, so I don't know if the 2nd works.
I should be fine, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's any problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have a conflict.
No, I don't see anything going that day.
I'll finally be able to introduce what my siblings look like.
Yeah.
The mysterious voices.
So, yeah, there's going to be kind of just some brief RP at the start of it. And the way I envision the next session will actually go is we're actually going to be at the race. So the 3-day 6-session lead up to the race, that's going to happen the next session.
At last.
Make sure you browse up primarily Delta and Ginkgo on the cloud vehicle. Kind of give some thoughts to just some different cool things you might see in races. The way the race is going to be structured is really kind of the way the chase happened tonight. It's going to be a series of piloting skill checks, but then there's also the ability where there's going to be chances in between where you can shoot people.
Yay.
Yes. Those who are not in the race, think about what you may want to be doing. Some of you may want to be gambling. Some of you may want to actually be doing additional research into preparing for the heist, because that is going to happen shortly after the race.
I think that might be a good time to start schmoozing some of the other wealthy, interested parties who will most likely be at the race.
Correct. Yes, there's a number of things. So just because those of you who aren't in the race, there's more than enough opportunity for you to be engaged. So the way I plan on structuring the next session is during the
I'm
race.
not prepared for this.
The race is essentially going to be broken into 7 different arms, is for lack of a better term. At the end of each arm, we'll RP the race side of it, and we'll take a brief break, and we'll go through everyone who plans on doing non-race related stuff. Then we'll do the next arm, and then we'll RP the rest of the. So that way, everyone's going to have a chance to be engaged. It's not like everyone's going to be sitting there for half the session twiddling their thumbs. So just give some thought over the next couple of weeks on what you think would be good for those of you not in the race to be doing during the race.
Very nice.
I have
So-
a question regarding some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So can we do like example for researching things? Can we do stuff in Discord during the next couple of weeks? Because there's just
Yeah.
stuff that, it's not entertaining to sit here and say, well, I want to, like my character
Yeah.
wants to build data spikes and things like that.
Yeah,
I should be able to roll for those and not waste time doing
exactly. And I consider that all like downtime activities: shopping, building, crafting. Even if you guys want to do some strategic talk, I don't necessarily consider that metagaming, as because you're not talking like, hey, my skill set is best to do this or anything of that nature. But if you're just discussing possible ideas, it just makes the game that much more fluid. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Altor was not kidding about taking the jewel and running.
Fair.
That's
I don't think I need to say be prepared with Ren.
After tonight, how can we be?
Are you guys sure you don't want Ren piloting during the race?
I mean,
That's the plan if we just take a quick left turn, crash into the museum and then try and fly out with the gym in tow.
Gosh. GM, can I actually use my what is it? Not my ally, but my follower, to make a medicine check this session?
Yeah, I'm okay with
Okay.
that.
Just don't want to like start the next session and immediately burn it.
No, it's okay.
So, okay. I guess we can do that off screen because it'll just be like healing and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, we'll consider that kind of some downtime activity stuff as well.
So, did we get any XP or anything?
Yes. So I want, and I'm going to do something a little bit different this time around. I'm going to have the rest of the group kind of vote on one person to be the player of the game.
I think that's an easy one. For death-defying aerial maneuvers, I vote Rent.
I have no problem voting Ren too, because that was just pure gold listening to it. Even though I wasn't a part of it, just listening to it was pure gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to agree.
Okay. So
Thank you.
everyone will receive 5 experience for today's session. Ren, you're going to receive an extra 2 experience.
Excellent. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Everyone's still happy with how the session's going?
I was very pleased.
Definitely.
Oh, that went great.
You guys aren't bored yet?
No.
All right.
Sitting pretty.
Well, just say it. I mean,
All right.
No, like I said, I haven't had this much fun playing in a long time, so I appreciate it.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Just so you guys are aware, Urban is much more experienced running this game than me, and he keeps DMing me little like, hey, so you know, you can do this as well. So props to Urban, and I just want to say, Urban, you're going to get an extra 2 experience for that as well.
Excellent.
I'll take it. Thank you. No, I'm glad, like I said, just glad to be here and share my knowledge that I know. And it's nice to have someone else DMing, not me.
All right. I just,
GM mood there.
I hear it.
anyone who tuned in for the stream tonight, I just want to say thank you. I'm going to post our links in chat. You can find us on Discord and Twitter. Church, what are you running tomorrow? Is it Sigil?
That's Sigil. Hopefully you'll be there.
I won't, but we'll talk more about that off stream. And then, are you still doing Beyond the Veil on Mondays?
Yeah, we Beyond the Veil is continuing Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. So Saturday and then Monday, Church you can find over at Featherfall Tabletop on their Descent to Avernus game on Wednesdays.
Wednesday. Yeah.
And I am currently in the process of working on a Conan campaign that I'm hoping to run in the next couple of months. So if anyone's interested in that, swing by our Discord, join our Looking for group game, and let me know if you're interested. Thank you very much for tuning in, and it was a blast.
Okay. Bye.
Mm-hmm.